is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Free channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and today I am running through Illinois. I'm headed over to Ohio. I am on I-57 North, going to go up to I-64 East and go through Louisville, Kentucky, up to the Cincinnati area. I've got a load of beer, and I am on my way to that area. So, and I will probably most likely be getting a load out of there of beer right out of the brewery, deliver there, get a load out, head to my next destination. I do not know what that'll be until most likely when I get there, or maybe tomorrow or something like that. But yeah, today is a Monday. I'll probably be posting this video. You will be watching it if you see it. It'll be a Tuesday, or if you see it after that, then it doesn't really matter. But anyway, I'm just making this quick intro to kind of let people know what you're looking at, where I'm going, what I'm doing, and things like that. Now, I just took a home time. I did not post any videos for about a week, a little over a week, and that was because I was home, and I kind of have a big announcement for anybody who is watching this channel or stumbles across this channel. I have been really busy, and that is because my wife and I will be welcoming our first child into this world. It'll be about March of 2022. Yeah, so in about March, that is when we will be welcoming our first child into the world, and we just found out that we were pregnant, and we're super excited about that. And so I was really busy on my home time. Wasn't able to film any videos or anything like that because we were at the doctor's appointments and doing the announcements and all that crap, with the family. But we are super excited. We've been planning this for a long time. So yeah, that is the deal personally with me. So anyway, but the purpose of this video is to talk about how you can use trucking to build wealth. I mean, this is a subject that I really care about, because I believe that if people knew how to build wealth, no matter what career they're in, and the reason I'm making it about trucking simply is because that is what I do. That is what I do. So I make it about trucking because this is what I'm using to accomplish building wealth, building financial freedom. Okay, this is my main source of income. I have other sources of income, but this is the main one. This is what funds those other sources. Okay, and that is kind of what I want to talk about in this video. So, and I do want to say, look, I am kind of a trucking channel, but really it's more about my journey in life. Okay, yes, I talk about trucking. That is because that is what I do full time. But I'm going to talk about other subjects like personal finance, motivation, mindset, things like that. Just basically my journey through life. That is what this channel really is ultimately all about. Okay, but I am going to be putting trucking in the titles and things like that because that is what I'm using to fund what I really want to do in life. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little bit about everything involving my situation. Okay, I'm going to be as transparent as possible with this channel. So anyway, let me get on to the subject of this video. How to build wealth in the trucking industry, how to create financial freedom. Well, this is the first thing that I learned about building wealth, okay? And this is what I learned from, millionaires that I personally know, okay? And they would tell me, they mentored me, and they said, look, most people that have become multimillionaires or, even billionaires, they do not do the same things. They do not think about money, and they do not think about life the same way as the middle class and the poor. Okay? It is not necessarily about how much money someone has or whatever. It is about the knowledge that they have about money and about building wealth. That is what makes a wealthy person wealthy. Okay? So what do? Well, they have different habits. You know, the wealthy, they constantly educate themselves about different assets, you know, different asset classes, okay? Like paper assets would be like stocks, bonds, you know, things like that, right? That's paper assets. They educate themselves about real estate, okay? Single family, multifamily, commercial, okay? They understand all these different things, right? They educate themselves about commodities, okay? Commodities are like gold, silver, oil, you know, things like that. Okay, now there's a new asset class, which a lot of younger people like, which is like cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know, Dogecoin, things like that, right? And for me, I do not invest in all of those things. I invest in the things that I truly understand. However, I do educate myself about all of them. You know, I do not like to be like, I only do real estate, or I only do stocks, or I only do Bitcoin. I don't want to be boxed in mentally. I want to have an open mind. You know, I want to learn as much as I can. It may take a while for me to pull the trigger on one of these options, but, and I will only pull the trigger if I totally understand what I'm doing. And if I have, you know, I have real conviction in what I'm doing. Like, I have to be certain that I'm going to make money here, right? I do not, that is the first rule. You know, Warren Buffett says, number one rule of investing, don't lose money, right? Never lose money. Protect the money. If you're going to make an investment, make sure you're going to be protecting your money, right? As best as you possibly can, okay? Anything can go wrong when investing or whatever, but the point of this is, you know, business is also an asset class. So if I take my money and start up, as an owner-operator and build a fleet and things like that, that's also another asset class, which is what I am focused on doing, is starting up my own trucking business. That is what I'm in the process of doing. And once I get that started and that starts making money, I'm going to use that income to invest in things like stocks, real estate, you know, and so on and so forth, and other projects. But I've got to focus on one thing at a time. So that is currently what I am doing. So that is why I'm not even in real estate right now. I do invest in the stock market, but that is what I'm using to, you know, grow my savings as I'm going to cash that in eventually and put that money into starting up my business. Okay, but you know, that's a little transparency for you. That's a little bit of insight of how I'm doing that. So anyway, but yeah, like the point of this video is learn about the different asset classes, learn about investments, especially if you're driving a truck. Okay, if you want to do better, if you want to get out of this truck eventually and not have to work anymore, or not have to drive anymore, you're going to have to work, but not have to drive anymore. You can get out. Maybe you want to retire early. This industry, this job is amazing because you can make a lot of money, and if you're smart with your money and you save that money and you invest that money wisely into any of those asset classes that I named, okay, you can retire early. It's absolutely possible. Okay, if you're making $80,000 to $100,000 a year and you get completely out of debt, consumer debt, okay? Like if you have a mortgage or something like that, that's not really a big deal, okay? Or if you have, you know, debt in a business or whatever, like I don't care about that, you know what I mean? And you shouldn't either, because those things can make you money, okay? So that's different. I'm talking about like credit cards, student loans, you know, just luxury car payments, things like that. It's very hard to build wealth when you have a ton of payments on consumer debt. It's very hard to do that. But anyway, that's a side note. If you're out of debt and you're making 80 to 100 or whatever and above, if you invested like 40 to 50% of that income, in 10 years, 10 to 15 years, you would already be a millionaire. You would be a millionaire. Let's say you took that money, and I do not have the calculator in front of me, but let's say you took, you know, let's say you made $100,000 for this example, and you invested $50,000 a year out of that $100,000, and you just lived off 50. Okay, you live on 50, you invest 50, and that's all you do for 10 years. Okay, well, what's $50,000 times 10? That's $500,000 that you've saved. Okay, and if you're getting an average rate of return, okay, like what the S&P 500 has done, it's done about 10% since its inception. So throughout history, the S&P 500 has done about 10% on average year over year. Okay, it does not do that every year, but the average over a long period of time has been roughly 10%. Okay, so that means your money, whatever money you're putting in, is going to double at 10% about it's going to double about every 7 to 8 years. Okay, well, if you've put $500,000 in over a 10-year span, okay, that $500,000 is going to turn into $1 million, probably 1.2, right? Something like that, right around there, roughly. Okay, and that's just investing in an S&P 500, getting an average rate of return. That's not, you buying real estate, investing in that, doing flips, none of that stuff. It's not you starting a business. That's not you, increasing your income at all, right? You just make the same amount of money, $100,000 a year, flat. That's all you do. You can become a millionaire in 10 years, right? And the goal, how do you retire early? Well, the way you know you can retire is, what do your assets pay you? What do your assets pay you per year? What's the average rate of return you're going to get from those assets? Okay, and can you live on that rate of return? Can you literally just take that income off of the asset? The dividends from stocks, the income from rental properties, whatever. Can you live on that? Can you pay all of your bills and pay for your lifestyle on that? So $1 million may not be enough, right? Or whatever, but you get the idea of this video. That's the point of this video, is just to kind of expand your mind. If you're watching this and you don't know really anything about, the investing like that, that is super important. Okay, that is super important to understand. If you're getting into trucking and you're going to be putting all this time, energy, and effort into being away from your family, working this many hours, things like that. And I believe this about any career. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Yeah, I believe if you're working this hard, if you're working 40 plus hours a week in any job, you should be wanting to build wealth. You should be investing. You should be getting out of consumer debt so that you can actually have financial freedom. And anybody can accomplish this. Anybody in this country that's willing to work for it can accomplish this. All right? And so, but you have to have a plan. You have to watch content, that's teaching you about money, that's teaching you about investing. Okay? And I'm going to do my best to teach what I know about it. Okay? And look, you may be saying, oh, well, you're a truck driver. What do you know about finance and money? Well, I've spent the last 2.5 years doing nothing but learning about business, finance, anything I possibly can to improve my situation. So I've read over 200 books on this subject. I've read, 10 to 15 books just on the stock market. I've read, 10 to 15 books just on real estate, 10 to 15 books just on the trucking business, things like that. And I'm just going to talk about what I know and my ideas that I have, right? And if you're watching this video, you may not agree with everything I say in any of my videos. That's okay. No one's going to agree with you all the time, right? But the point is, I want to promote doing better. I want to promote self-improvement, And so that's what my channel is all about, okay? So, yeah, like I said in this video, hey, you can build financial freedom in the trucking business. Like I said, if you're making $80,000 to $100,000 a year, and I'm just talking about being company, you become an owner-operator and things like that. There's owner-operators I know making $150,000, $200,000 a year after expenses, and they're just pulling generalized freight, and some guys that do specialized freight, things like that, they can even make more than that, It just depends on what you want to do. But the money is there. And you build a fleet. You're building an asset when you have a business. I mean, that's what you're doing. You've got to look at, like, if you have a trucking business, you own a truck and you add 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks, you're building an asset. That's like you growing the value of your own stock that you own, right? You've got to look at a business like an asset. Now, I'm not in that business yet because my goal is to save up and pay cash to start my own business in the trucking industry. I want to pay cash for my first truck. I want to pay cash to, and have the emergency fund I need. I want to pay cash for everything I need to get set up. So that's why I have not done that yet, okay? But I am in the process of doing that, okay? So, but the point of this video, again, and by the way, if you like this video so far, please smash the like button and hit subscribe for more content in the future. Once again, my name is Tyler Freed. This is the Living Free channel, and I hope you're enjoying what you're listening to right now. But anyway, back to the subject. Yes, you can build wealth in trucking. You can build wealth in all the basic careers that we all know about, but you have to first learn about it. I knew nothing about money growing up, okay? My family knew nothing about money growing up, about business, about how to actually build wealth. Why am I so interested in that? Because the people in this country and all around the world, the ones that have financial freedom, have actual freedom in their life, okay? And I want to buy time. When you're investing, you're literally buying time, okay? Because that money you're investing into assets eventually is going to pay for your lifestyle, and you will not have to physically clock in to a job and work that job and sell your time for money. No, you want your money to make you money, not sell your time for money. And that is the number one thing that the rich do that the poor and the middle class do not do, okay? I read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and many people have read this book, okay? And the number one lesson, the first lesson that Rich Dad taught Robert was the rich do not work for money. They make money work for them. And whenever I heard that, I'm like, okay, that sounds good, but don't you have to work for money to have the money to make it work for you? Absolutely, you do. That's not what he's saying. He's saying your focus should be building assets, investing money, so that eventually you do not have to sell time anymore, okay? And if you want to get out of this truck and go home and be with your family, that is the way to do that. But you have to start. You have to understand it's going to be a process. You're not going to just get it overnight. But you can invest money wisely. You can become a savant with money and finances, okay, and build actual freedom. I don't care who you are. And you do not have to be that smart to do it. You just have to be willing to learn, and you have to be willing to do the work, and you have to be patient. And I learned that from all the millionaires that I know personally, and I know quite a few of them that have personally taught me these things. And I've also read as many books as possible about the richest people to ever walk the face of the earth. And whenever you read about people like this, you learn why their situation is so much different than 99% of the population. And it's simply because they have different habits and different thought processes. Okay, and that's all it is, really. And they just create a plan and they stick to it. So my plan, my journey is going to be totally different from your plan and your journey. And if you're starting from ground zero, oh well, so what? You just got to do it, That's what I'm doing. I started from nothing. I started from zero. Nobody in my family really taught me this except for one person. And, but they're not like mom, dad, or whatever. And I'm not going to say who that person is. Maybe I will later on. Later on in my, if my channel grows and everything, maybe I will interview this person and get them them to talk about what they know, what they've taught me. I don't know. But anyway, like I said, if you like this video, I'm just going to wrap it up. If you like this video, please like the video and subscribe to my channel for more in the future. God bless. Have a great day.